Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and very good episode of The Boys, which dropped today on Amazon Prime. If you're not caught up on The Boys by Season 4, Episode 4, which is the latest installment, you do not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. So, we got a lot of big secrets exposed and brought to the light in this episode. In both the audience learning things and the characters learning things about themselves and each other. Frenchie apparently couldn't keep it in anymore, and he finally told Colin, he's the one who killed his family, to which, of course, Colin almost beats him to death, understandably so. And I'm glad he didn't, because he stopped himself. But it seems like Frenchie wasn't putting up much of a fight. It's almost like he kind of hoped he would kill him. But he didn't. But the truth is out there now. Only 3 episodes in this season. And by the 4th episode, he finally couldn't take it anymore and coughed up the truth to him. Only nearly after fighting off the stretchy soup guy. And then, of course, we learned, and at first I thought this would be a huge shock to Huey, but apparently Huey already knew about it. I guess Annie went and got herself an abortion during the time jump in between seasons. She must have gotten pregnant, decided to abort it, which could not have been an easy decision, but her decision all the same. And I guess Sister Sage found those medical files and, of course, shared that with Firecracker, who blasted it all over the internet and whatnot. And I thought, oh shit, Huey's going to be devastated on top of dealing with his father's medical problems. But apparently he already knew and was okay with it, and when they reunited towards the end of the episode, it's like, oh, okay, I thought he'd be crushed and devastated. Like, you killed my unborn baby? But he was actually on board with it, or at least supported her decision. So it was everybody else who didn't know. And then finally, in terms of not necessarily secrets, but backstory being revealed, and not to justify or defend anything Homelander has ever done or said, and I never will, but you do understand partially why he is the way he is. Growing up in that environment, being poked and prodded like a lab rat, being experimented and tortured upon. No wonder he turned out to be a raging psychopath monster that he did. And of course, you don't really feel, you might feel a little sorry for him. Maybe when he was a kid, you may have felt sorry for him, but he's a grown-ass man now who's choosing to do all these terrible things, so you don't really feel sorry for him. But it does help you understand him slightly more. You're like, oh, this is why you're so fucked up. This is why you're so twisted and evil. No wonder you were raised in this kind of environment and you were tortured by the very people who cared for you. How awful. And we heard about his birth, about the woman who gave birth to him. He lasered his way out of the womb and killed several nurses and a doctor, and hovered above the corpse of his mother like the Antichrist or something. And it was pretty impressive that one woman who's head of the lab seemed relatively unfazed or unafraid of him. But I'm sure that changed by the end of the episode when we saw her very much alive and well with all her limbs intact, but stuck in that room Homelander had left her in with the mutilated remains of all of her employees, after Homelander, of course, had murdered all of them. Not before having his twisted fun with burning the one guy in the oven and then making that poor guy attempt to jack off in front of everybody, much like Homelander was once caught jerking off by him. And I'm so glad that story went the way it did, because I thought, oh no, don't tell me this is going to be some terrible story where this guy forced himself upon Homelander and molested him. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. But it was still a pretty dehumanizing and humiliating story and experience that Homelander went through. So, of course, he put this guy through it to exact his revenge. And when he couldn't get it hard, he lasered it off like he said he would. And I was like, ouch. Ooh. Terrible, terrible thing to see. Ouchie. But like I said, this episode was great. So much went down and happened. But I also liked the fact that we got so much revealed in Homelander's backstory. And you may not sympathize with him, but you certainly can understand why he turned out the way he is. It's not much of a mystery anymore. Not that it ever was to begin with. They touched on his origins in season 1, but this episode really brought a lot to the light. Don't know how Huey's dad suddenly was feeling better. Did the mom pull the vial of Compound V out and inject it when Huey was out of the room getting a snack? I guess. I don't know. What kind of effect will this have on Mr. Campbell? Who knows? But I also liked how they quickly establish or let us know that, this whole alliance between Starlight and the presidential nominee went down the toilet after Starlight lost her shit and beat the hell out of Firecracker. Understandably so, and in my opinion, Firecracker had it coming. I mean, she's a lying, loudmouth, right-wing, alt-right conspiracy theorist that spreads lies, misinformation, and fear, so she kind of had it coming. But unfortunately, it's what ultimately damaged Starlight's image, which I believe was Sister Sage's motivation the whole time. And oh my god, how about the lobotomy scene? Granted, it was hilarious how eager Deep was to do it for her when she said she'd let him do her from behind. That was pretty funny in his response. And then her, allowing her brain to swell or come down after doing that in-person lobotomy, I was just like, ugh. But yeah, great episode, man. A lot of crazy, crazy shit, but that's what makes it The Boys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Did you have any favorite moments or parts? Let me know what you thought down below in the comments section. Have a wonderful rest of your night. The Boys drops new episodes every Thursday on Amazon Prime. Have a great one, everyone. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.